listen up. Yeah, you. Put the phone up for a second and actually hear this. Because today, your own home cameras exposed the real you. And they're shaking after seeing your power. You know what's funny? People love to talk about you. They love the group chats. They love the whispers. They love the fake little smiles and the "No, I'm happy for you" far, while their eyes scream, "Please fail, so I feel better about my own boring life." But here's the twist they never saw coming. The cameras were rolling the whole time. Not when you were posing, not when you were pretending, not when you were doing some fake grind for Instagram stories. No, when you were really you, the tired, angry, stubborn, obsessive, hungry version of you. The version of you they told you was too much, too intense, too emotional, too serious, too weird. The cameras didn't record your image. They recorded your truth. Imagine this for a second. They click play on that footage from your house expecting what? Some embarrassment? Some cringe? Maybe you're sad, lazy, talking about what you're gonna do but never doing it. Instead, they see you at 2:47 a.m., eyes half dead, body exhausted, heart broken, but still at your desk, still on the floor doing push-ups, still studying, still planning, still fighting. No audience, no applause, no likes, no validation, just you versus your own mind. And the cameras recorded that. They see you pacing around your room, talking to yourself, hyping yourself up because nobody else cares enough to do it. They see you staring at your bank account, jaw clenched, promising yourself you will never stay stuck like this. They see you rehearse boundaries in the mirror because you're done letting people walk all over you. They see you wiping tears off your own face and then opening the laptop again. And suddenly, you're not the over-dramatic one. You're not the lazy one. You're not the failure. You're the monster. You're the threat. You're the proof. You're the one who actually suffers and still moves. That's why they're shaking, not because the cameras showed them something bad about you, but because the cameras showed them something they don't have. Discipline, resilience, obsession, rage pointed in the right direction. You know what scares people? Not your success, your process. They can handle you smiling when you finally win. They can handle the post, the picture, the little brag. They can rationalize that. Oh, they got lucky. Oh, right place, right time. Oh, someone helped them. But when they see the tapes, when they see how you really live, there's no excuse, because those cameras don't lie. They show the nights you didn't go out. They show you ignoring notifications to stay focused on building. They show you saying no to people who only call when they need something. They show you working on your business, your body, your skills, while everyone else is scrolling, complaining, and coping. And that's the part that makes their hands shake. Because deep down, they know, greater than, if I had that level of obsession, my life wouldn't look like this. You didn't just expose your power, you exposed their weakness. They thought you were all talk. You know the vibe. Yeah, you're gonna change your life. You're gonna make money. You're gonna get in shape. You're gonna cut off toxic people. Sure. They've heard it all before, from themselves, because they say the same things in their own heads, and then they don't do anything. But your home cameras caught something different. They caught you turning "I'll try" into "I will." They caught you turning one day into today. They caught you doing the boring, unsexy, consistent work that nobody ever claps for. You think that doesn't hit their ego? They press play and see. You waking up after 3 hours of sleep instead of snoozing for the 5th time. You reading instead of doom scrolling. You stretching, training, fixing your posture, fixing your diet, fixing your life. You practicing that skill over and over while they're off looking for another distraction. You became the one thing society hates more than anything. You became undeniable. Let's talk about the real you for a second, because they like to pretend the real you is that broken, insecure, soft version from your worst moments. They like to freeze you in your lowest phase and pin it to your chest like a name tag. Anxious, awkward, too shy, too loud, too emotional, too damaged. But the real you is who you are when nobody is watching. And the cameras, they watched. They saw the anger you swallowed instead of spitting it at someone weaker. They saw the messages you typed and then deleted because you decided to heal instead of lash out. They saw the nights you sat with your own pain instead of numbing it with substances or people you don't even like. They watched you wrestle with your own darkness and say, "Fine, if I can't kill it, I'll use it." That's power, not fake confidence, not fake positivity. Power. They don't fear your smile. They fear the storm behind it. You know why so many people underestimated you? Because you learned to hide. You learned to shrink. You learned to crack jokes about yourself before anyone else could. You learned to play dumb around people who couldn't handle your intelligence. You learned to pretend you didn't care so you wouldn't come off as too passionate. You were playing a character in their little low-budget reality show, but in your house, in your room, in your private space. The mask slipped. The cameras saw the whole script. They saw the notebook full of plans you haven't shown anyone, the whiteboard with strategies and deadlines, the folders of drafts, of ideas, of failed attempts that were really just early versions of your future success. The workouts, the late-night research, the breakdowns that turned into breakthroughs when you decided, "Nah, I'm not quitting here. Not like this." So now, when they say, "You changed," what they really mean is, "We didn't know you were this serious, this dangerous, this real. You didn't change. You just stopped hiding." The cameras didn't turn you into someone else. They finally revealed the person you've been becoming in the dark. Let's talk about why they're shaking. Because it's not just, "Oh, wow, you're impressive." No, it's existential. When they see that footage, it forces a question. If this is what they're doing in private, what does that say about me? Because they had the same 24 hours, they had the same internet, they had the same access to information. Sometimes they even had more money, more support, more stability, and still, they chose comfort. You chose chaos and growth. You didn't need everything to be fair. You just needed a starting point, and my God, you used it. Your effort shoves a mirror in their face. Not a cute, filtered mirror. A brutal, unforgiving one. Suddenly their excuses die in their throat. No time. Really? The cameras show you squeezing progress into every crack of your schedule. No support. Really? The cameras show you supporting yourself when no one else did. No opportunities. Really? The cameras show you building something from whatever scraps you had. You know what that does? It makes their comfort feel like guilt. It makes their laziness feel like self-betrayal. It makes mediocrity feel disgusting. That's why their voice shakes. That's why their hands shake. That's why their smile twitches when they say, "I'm happy for you." Your power ruins their coping mechanism. Now let's flip the camera. You know the wildest part? You haven't even seen your own footage like they have. You live it. You survive it. You keep moving, thinking, I'm not doing enough. I'm behind. I'm nothing special. But if I sat you down, hit play, and made you watch yourself like a stranger, you'd be stunned. You'd see a main character you've been treating like an extra. You'd see a fighter you've been calling weak. You'd see a genius you've been second-guessing every 5 seconds. You'd see that version of you running on fumes, pushing through heartbreak, disappointment, anxiety, loneliness, and still choosing to get up and go again. And you'd think, greater than, if that was my friend, I'd be so proud of them. Why am I not proud of me? You're not soft. You're not lazy. You're not too broken. You're undercredited, under-celebrated, underestimated, even by yourself. Those cameras are your witness. All the nights you thought, no one sees me. Something did. And if you're honest, that something feels a bit like fate taking notes. You didn't just expose power, you exposed evidence. This is the difference. Most people walk around with stories. I could have been this if I really tried. I would have done that if life wasn't so unfair. I'm actually like super smart. I just never applied myself. Cute little myths to soothe their ego. You have tapes, receipts, proof that you did try, proof that you did apply yourself, proof that you put the work in when it didn't make sense yet. The cameras catch you investing when there was no guarantee of a return. They catch you studying opportunities nobody else believed in. They catch you practicing for a future everyone assumed you'd never reach. They catch you betting your time, your energy, your sanity on a life you could only see inside your own skull. So when people say, you got lucky, remember, luck doesn't leave fingerprints. Work does, and those cameras are covered in yours. Let's go darker for a second, because power isn't just about grind, discipline, and self-improvement. That's cute. That's Instagram-friendly. Real power. It's the part of you that got betrayed and didn't become a permanent victim. It's the part of you that got humiliated and didn't stay small forever. It's the part of you that got used, lied to, discarded, and still didn't give up on yourself. The footage from your house, it doesn't just show you working. It shows you transforming. The night someone broke your trust, and you sat on the floor, back against the wall, feeling like your whole chest had been ripped open. The cameras saw that. They saw you gasp for air between sobs. They saw your eyes red, your breathing uneven. They saw you pick up your phone, tempted to beg, to chase, to apologize for existing. And then they saw you put it down. They saw you refuse to send that message. They saw you choose dignity over desperation. They saw you turn that hurt into a silent vow. Greater than I will never let anyone have this kind of power over me again. That's when the real power was born. Not when you smiled, not when you posted a cute quote about healing, but when you held the weight of your own pain and said, I'm not dying here, I'm building here. That's what lives in the footage forever. The cameras also caught the uglier parts of you. Let's not lie. The anger, the bitterness, the envy when you see people who did less than you getting more. The rage when someone disrespects you and you fantasize about burning everything down. But here's what makes you different. You felt it. You didn't let it own you. You learned to sit with your demons and say, all right, if you're not leaving, you're working for me now. You turned jealousy into fuel. You turned anger into structure. You turned pain into standards. You started saying no more. You started walking away faster. You started moving smarter, colder, clearer. And yeah, that shift, it scares them. Because you used to be easy to manipulate. You used to be the one always explaining, always defending yourself, always giving second, third, fifth chances. Now, your eyes changed. Your tone changed. Your responses got shorter. Your behavior got louder. You don't argue. You move. You don't chase. You replace. You don't beg. You build. And when the cameras replay that part of your evolution, it's obvious. They lost access to a version of you that no longer exists. Here's the part you really need to let sink in. You're no longer proving them wrong. You've passed that level. They're not the main enemy anymore. They're background noise. The cameras weren't there to show them your power. They were there to show you your power, to expose the gap between how you see yourself and who you actually are. You think you're still in the starting out phase. But the footage reveals you've already survived phases that would have ended other people. You think you're inconsistent, but the footage reveals a pattern of persistence through conditions that were far from ideal. You think you're ordinary, but the footage reveals a person who refused to stay down every single time life had the perfect chance to break them. If that's ordinary, what does extraordinary even look like? From now on, I want you to move like this. Every room you walk into, every conversation, every silent decision, imagine there's a hidden camera recording, not for them, for you, for the future version of you watching this moment like a scene in a movie. Will they be proud? Will they nod and say, yeah, that was the day everything shifted? Or will they wince and whisper, I know you were capable of more than that. This isn't about paranoia. This is about accountability. Because the truth is, your life already is a kind of footage. Your habits, your choices, your reactions, your standards. They're all being recorded in the only place that really matters. Your results. Your body is footage. Your bank account is footage. Your relationships are footage. Your peace of mind is footage. You don't need a literal camera to prove who you are. Your reality is the recording. So here's where I want your mindset to land. You are not a victim of surveillance. You are the storm that surveillance accidentally caught on tape. They thought they were going to catch you slipping. They ended up catching you evolving. They thought the footage would expose your flaws. It exposed your fight. They thought replaying your life would make you look small. Instead, it highlighted every time you chose growth over ease, dignity over drama, self-respect over approval. You are not the person they built in their heads. You are not the weak character they keep referencing when they bring up your past. The evidence is in. The cameras have spoken, and they're shaking, not because they discovered a new you, but because they finally realized how badly they misjudged the old one. Now it's your turn to stop misjudging yourself. Stop narrating your life like a failure story when the footage clearly shows a warrior arc. Stop downplaying your effort just because the scoreboard isn't where you want it yet. Stop treating survival like it's nothing. You didn't just live through all that. You carried dreams, responsibilities, heartbreak, self-doubt, fear of the future, and you still made moves. That's power, not the loud, glamorous, shiny kind. The quiet, relentless, terrifying kind that builds empires out of ruins. And whether you feel ready or not, whether you believe it or not, that power is already on record. That power is already on record. And the wild thing is, You've barely started using it on purpose. You've been powerful by accident. You've been tripping over your own strength, calling it overthinking, calling it overreacting, calling it I'm just sensitive, when in reality your mind has been running at a higher voltage than the people around you. You feel everything deeper. You analyze everything harder. You replay situations in your head until 3 in the morning. You thought that meant something was wrong with you. Those cameras caught it all. You pacing, you overanalyzing, you talking to yourself, replaying conversations, strategizing responses you never send. To somebody else that looks crazy. To a strategist, that looks like training. Every overthinking session, that's intel gathering. Every replayed conversation, that's pattern recognition. Every time you sat there with your stomach in knots, trying to decide if you were overreacting or if they really disrespected you. That was your intuition trying to drag you out of situations that were shrinking you. The footage shows it. You ignoring red flags. You giving one more chance again and again. You shrinking your tone, softening your opinions, making yourself smaller to keep the peace. You weren't weak. You were loyal in the wrong direction. And the moment that loyalty turned inward instead of outward, everything started glitching for the people around you. They felt the shift, even if they didn't understand it. They noticed your replies changing. They noticed you stop oversharing. They noticed you stop explaining. They noticed that the version of you that tolerated everything had disappeared. Those cameras watched the exact turning point. That one night you opened your notes app and wrote out everything you were tired of. The lines, the deals, the rules. You wrote your I'm done list. Not for social media, not for some aesthetic journal post. For yourself. Personal manifesto. No audience, no claps. Just raw. The cameras caught that. If that list ever played on a screen in front of the same people who drained you, used you, lied to you, they'd understand exactly why your energy changed. They'd realize your silence is a verdict. You're not acting different. You just stopped pretending. And that's the part that shakes them the most. They realized your kindness was never weakness. It was restraint. They realized your patience was never cluelessness. It was observation. You were clocking everything. Every jab passed off as a joke. Every, you're doing too much. Every, relax. Why do you care so much? Every little micro disrespect they brushed off like you were being dramatic. The cameras saw your reaction when they left. The way your face dropped. The way you sighed. The way you whispered, yeah, I caught that. You didn't call them out. You just logged it. And when you started pulling back, they had the nerve to ask, what changed? What changed is that you finally believed the footage. You stopped arguing with your own reality. You stopped gaslighting yourself. You trusted what you saw, what you felt, what you knew. That's power. People assume power is you screaming, flipping tables, making a scene. Nah. Power is you calmly choosing distance without a big announcement. Power is you not sending that paragraph. Power is you unfollowing, muting, blocking in real life, in your spirit, in your attention. You didn't slam the door. You just stopped holding it open. The cameras show that quiet shift like a plot twist. One day you're answering every text, smiling through the disrespect. Next day, your replies are shorter. Your availability is lower. Your standards are higher. They feel it. They feel the access drying up. They feel the ease disappearing. They feel the consequences creeping in. That's why they're obsessed with watching your life from a distance now. Checking your stories, asking mutuals about you, throwing your name in conversations. They're trying to understand how the person they thought they owned slipped out of their grip. Rewind the tape. The answer is there. You started treating yourself like you mattered. And when you do that, your entire aura changes. The footage shows the subtle upgrades. The way you sit up straighter at your desk. The way you stop laughing at jokes that hit a little too close. The way you start saying, "I'm busy," without guilt. The way you start talking to yourself with a little more respect in your own head. They don't see those tiny moments. The cameras do. Those micro moments are what turned you from a background character in other people's stories into the main character of your own. And yeah, main characters make people uncomfortable, especially the ones who used to depend on your low self-esteem. You were their free therapist, their emotional trash can, their safety net, their plan B. They'll always be there. The footage shows the exact second that illusion died. That night your phone lit up and you stared at their name. You looked tired. You could hear your own spirit groan. Same pattern, same drama, same cycle. And you hesitated. In the past, you would have answered on the first ring. This time, your thumb hovered over decline. Heart racing, mind arguing, guilt screaming. You hit decline anyway. That click, that simple tiny act, that's when your life took a different timeline. Well, look who's awake. Look who's paying attention, while the rest of the world rocks itself to sleep. You magnificent anomaly. You listened when everyone else was too busy speaking nonsense to hear the silence roaring underneath. You caught what was never said, the tremble behind the smile, the hesitation in the boast, the crack in the armor they wore so proudly. You saw through the carefully painted lies, through the desperate performances, the desperate charades. And now they can feel you watching, even when you say nothing at all. That's the part they can't survive. Not your anger, not your revenge, your silence. You see, people fear what they cannot predict. They fear the mind that watches without flinching, that notices without warning. They thought they could manipulate you with their words. But you dangerous thing, you heard the truth they were terrified would slip out. You didn't interrupt. You didn't accuse. You simply listened. And in that listening, you cornered them. You held up a mirror they cannot shatter. You became a question they cannot answer. And now, they're terrified. Terrified of what you might do. Terrified of what you already know. Terrified that you could destroy them without ever raising your voice, without ever lifting your hand. Because you possess the deadliest weapon of all, awareness. You didn't need to scream. You didn't need to threaten. You didn't need to expose them publicly. You just knew. And that's enough to haunt them, enough to unravel them in the privacy of their own mind. Every fake smile they flash, they wonder, did you see that? Every carefully chosen word they spit out, they wonder, did you hear the fear beneath it? Every moment you stay silent, they panic. Do you already have the knife pressed to the back of my lies? You do, and you don't even have to move it. You see, knowledge, real, raw knowledge, is not just power. It's an executioner with a patient smile. It's a storm that doesn't have to announce itself. It just arrives and swallows cities whole. And right now, you are that storm. You walk into rooms and the air gets colder. You make them sweat, not with what you say, but with what you don't. Your eyes, they're a courtroom. Your silence, it's a guillotine. And they know it. They feel it. Because they know what you know. And no matter how much they pretend, how loudly they laugh, how confidently they lie, underneath it all the terror never leaves them. They can't out-talk you. They can't outmaneuver you. Because you are playing a different game entirely, a game where patience is a weapon, observation is a blade, and silence is the final judgment. And you are winning. They underestimated you. They thought you were naive. They thought you were soft, stupid, easy prey. Oh, but now they realize. Now they see it. The slow horror dawns on them. You were never asleep. You were never fooled. You were simply waiting. Waiting for them to show you who they really are. Waiting for them to build their fragile empire of lies, so you could watch it collapse under its own rotting weight. And the best part? You don't have to lift a single damn finger, because the truth you carry in your mind is a virus they can't escape from. It will rot them from the inside out. They will betray themselves trying to hide from you. They will destroy themselves trying to outrun you. They will lose everything trying to silence a truth that already lives and breathes inside your skull. And you won't even have to say a word. You are the reckoning they thought they'd never face. You are the storm they thought they could outrun. You are the silence that sees everything, remembers everything, and judges without mercy. They thought the danger would come with screaming blood and chaos. No, the real danger came with quiet eyes, a still mind, a listening heart. You are the nightmare they can't wake up from. And the best part, you haven't even started yet. And now you stand at the edge of their crumbling kingdoms, watching them tremble, watching them scramble to patch up the cracks in the illusions they once believed were impenetrable. But it's too late. It was too late the moment you understood. They thought they could manage you, mold you, use you. They thought they could distract you with shiny promises, sweet poison, and empty smiles. They thought you would stay blind forever. But oh, you saw it. You saw the betrayal flicker behind their pupils. You felt the cowardice bleeding out between their words. You smelled the fear leaking through the walls they so carefully built. You know what terrifies them the most? It's not that you found out what they did. It's that you found out who they are. Their crimes, their mistakes, those are just symptoms. But their nature, their rotting, cowardly, conniving nature, that's the disease. And you diagnosed it with a glance. No one can save them now, not their lies, not their allies, not their desperate performances, because you have already delivered the sentence. And the sentence is this: they have been seen, they have been measured, and they have been found pathetically wanting. You carry that judgment inside you like a loaded gun they can't dodge. Every time they look at you, they see it. The inevitable collapse of the masks they spent their whole lives building. They thought they had secrets. They thought they had the upper hand. But you are the secret. You are the upper hand. You walk among them calm, deliberate, smiling if you wish. But behind that smile is a ledger, a cold, merciless list of everything they tried to hide. And you are in no hurry, because you understand something they never will. Power belongs to the patient. Victory belongs to the silent. Dominance belongs to the ones who listen when others scream. They scream louder now, don't they? Desperate to cover the truth. Desperate to drown it out. They lash out. They invent stories. They gasp for control. Good. Let them writhe. Let them implode. Because every wild accusation, every clumsy lie, every desperate outburst, is just another nail in the coffin they've been building with their own trembling hands. You don't need to argue. You don't need to defend. You don't even need to explain. Your silence is enough. Your knowing is enough. Your existence is enough. Everywhere you go, you carry the silent thunder of reality. You don't shout, you radiate, and it burns them alive. Because the truth is, they were never afraid of you hurting them. They were always afraid of you exposing them. And now they live in terror, knowing that you hold the one thing they cannot steal, cannot fake, cannot erase, the truth. And you carry it with elegance. You carry it with cruelty. You carry it like royalty, walking through the ashes of an empire built on lies. Because you understand, the real punishment is not a bullet, not a fist, not a public humiliation. The real punishment is knowing that someone sees you, all of you, and simply refuses to pretend. The real punishment is being invisible to someone who sees your soul laid bare and simply walks away without a word. You listened to what wasn't said, and now you don't even have to speak. Your silence is a goddamn execution, and it's beautiful. Because you know the truth, my dear. They were never worthy of the pedestal they built. They were never strong enough to deserve your loyalty. They were never wise enough to deserve your blindness. You owe them nothing, not your voice, not your forgiveness, not your pity. You owe them silence. And that silence, it will echo in their hollow, broken little worlds long after you have walked away to build something real, something powerful, something worthy. Without them, because you are not the victim of their lies. You are not the casualty of their cowardice. You are the one who survived seeing it all. And now you are the one who decides who will live in your light, and who will be buried under the crushing, merciless weight of your silence. And that, my dear, that is a power they can never touch. Not in this lifetime, not in the next. And now you are something else entirely. You're not just the one who saw through them. You're not just the one who listened while they lied. You have transcended the entire game. Because once you've heard the silence, once you've learned its language, you stop needing their noise altogether. You stop chasing explanations. You stop craving apologies. You stop begging for truth from mouths designed only to rot it. You see the futility of it all. You see the weakness they draped themselves in like royalty robes, parading around, thinking their costumes make them gods. But you became something real. You became something terrible, something glorious. Something that doesn't need to shout to command the room. Something that doesn't need to prove a damn thing to parasites gnawing on each other in the dark. You became the observer, and then the judge, and then something even more dangerous, the architect. You stopped living in their crumbling buildings of deceit. You stopped playing their dying games. You started building your own empire, brick by brick, in silence, with patience, with fury, hidden beneath steady hands. Because you know now, real power is invisibility. Real dominance is restraint. Real vengeance is a success they will never be allowed to taste. And oh, how they hate it. They seethe, they plot. They whisper your name like a curse behind doors you've long since burned down. But no matter what they say, no matter what venom they spit into the air, it doesn't touch you, because you are no longer standing on the same broken ground. You have risen above it, above them, above their lies, their panic, their empty prayers. You became the sky they will never reach. You became the storm they will never outrun. You became the silent, merciless god of your own life, and they are nothing but dust swirling at your feet. They will spend the rest of their hollow lives trying to undo the exposure you brought upon them. They will spend years trying to stitch together the crumbling facade you cracked wide open without even lifting your voice. But it's too late. The damage was done the moment you listened, the moment you knew, the moment you chose to keep walking with your head held high and your mouth shut, leaving them to drown in the echoes of your silence. And here's the dark, beautiful truth they can't swallow. You didn't destroy them. They destroyed themselves the moment they thought you weren't paying attention. You simply made sure they could no longer lie about it. You illuminated the rot. You unveiled the hollow core. You left them standing naked before the gods they thought they could deceive. And now you are free. You are untouchable. You are undeniable. You are unbreakable. Because you walked through their fire. And you didn't just survive. You studied the flames. You tamed them. You became the fire. Now the world will watch as you rise higher and higher. Wordless, fearless, unstoppable. While those who once tried to deceive you choke on the smoke of their own burning lies. And you won't need to say a damn thing. Because when true power speaks, it doesn't need words. It radiates, it consumes, it reigns. And you, my dear, you were born to reign. And now you walk a different road entirely. A road they can't follow, a road they can't even see. You became something they told themselves didn't exist, something they whispered about in fear, but never truly believed they'd encounter. A mind too sharp to be deceived, a will too savage to be broken, a soul too silent, too sovereign to ever be controlled. You didn't just survive their betrayal, you capitalized on it. You learned the secret that only the truly dangerous ever understand. When you master the art of listening to what isn't said, you no longer need to respond to those who aren't worth hearing. They, the cowards, the liars, the masked fools, they spent everything they had trying to build walls around you. Walls of manipulation, walls of deception, walls of false power. But you simply walked through them. Because walls built from lies collapse under the weight of a single glance from someone who knows better. And oh, how you know better now. You don't need their recognition. You don't need their validation. You don't even need their downfall. Because the moment you saw through them, they were already falling. They just didn't know it yet. And now you leave them to rot in the prisons they built with their own trembling hands. While you move forward without even sparing a glance, you became legend not by shouting your victories, but by outlasting every pretender who thought they could fool you. You carved your name into the bones of their failures. You etched your memory into the back of their minds, where it gnaws and claws and howls in the dead silence they thought would protect them. You became a ghost they can never outrun, a shadow they will never escape, a truth they can never unlearn. Because you didn't just reveal who they were, you became the reminder of what they can never be. You became everything they feared in the dead of night, the judgment, the exposure, the unstoppable reality that all their masks, all their words, all their games meant nothing in the end. And now you reign from a place they will never reach, a place of power, patience, sovereignty. Because you understand something they never could. Revenge is temporary, silence is eternal. Your silence is the monument. Your silence is the empire. Your silence is the throne upon which you sit. While they decay into the forgotten dust below. And make no mistake, they know. Every time their lies crumble, they think of you. Every time their schemes fail, they think of you. Every time they look into the mirror and hate what they see, they think of you. You didn't just defeat them, you wrote the story. You took everything they weaponized against you, the gaslighting, the betrayal, the manipulation, and you forged it into something they could never match. An indestructible will, an immortal mind, a goddamn dynasty of one. You are not broken, you are not bitter, you are beyond their reach, beyond their understanding, beyond their dying dreams. And now, you are the silence after the storm, the eerie calm after the empire falls, the terrifying stillness that reminds everyone left behind. Power was never in the noise, it was always in the silence. Your silence, your truth, your existence, you are living proof that they lost. Not because you fought harder, but because you listened deeper. And you never forgot what you heard. You never needed their permission to win. You never needed their approval to rise. And now you move forward with a quiet crown of your own making, untouched, unchallenged, unforgettable. Because when the dust clears and the ashes settle and the lies blow away in the cold wind, it will be your silence that remains. Unshaken, unbroken, unstoppable. And now, you walk the earth as something untouchable, something primordial, something inevitable. Not a person seeking revenge, not a wounded soul begging for justice. No, you have become something they cannot even comprehend, a force, a movement, a phenomenon. You are no longer reacting, you are no longer responding, you are creating. With every breath you forge realities where their names hold no weight. With every step you build a future so massive, so towering, so beyond anything they ever touched, that their betrayals seem like the childish tantrums of insects. They wanted you to bleed, they wanted you to fall to your knees, but instead, you transcended. And in doing so, you revealed the great secret: they were too small, too cowardly, too selfish to ever understand. It was never about them. It was never about their lies. It was never about their plots. It was never about their betrayals. It was always about what you would become because of it. They were never the architects of your downfall. They were the architects of your ascension. Every deception sharpened your mind. Every betrayal armored your soul. Every silence you endured stitched the wings to your back. And now you soar where they cannot even breathe. You don't chase closure anymore. You embody it. You don't wait for apologies. You are the consequence. You don't dream of justice. You live it. Simply by existing, simply by thriving, simply by standing in the sunlight they will never touch. You have become inevitable. You have become evolution itself. While they rot in their petty little worlds of lies, you build cathedrals of reality. While they whisper your name in fear and jealousy, you carve your destiny into the mountains with your bare hands. They are passengers of fate now. You are the driver. And the most brutal truth: they taught you how to destroy them without ever lifting a single finger. They taught you the art of patience. They taught you the weaponry of observation. They taught you that true power is not taking from others, but becoming something they can never diminish, no matter how much they try to deny it. You owe them nothing, no explanations, no performances, no mercy. Your existence is the reckoning. Your silence is the sword. Your assent is the punishment. They created the very force that now makes them irrelevant. And there's nothing they can do to stop it, nothing they can say to undo it, nothing they can fabricate to rewrite it. Because you don't live in their stories anymore. You don't live in their illusions. You don't even live in their world. You forged your own, out of pain, out of silence, out of raw, brutal clarity. And now you own everything they pretended to rule. You move like a myth written in blood and steel. You speak only when you wish and when you do. The earth listens. You stand where they once tried to bury you, and you tower over the ruins of their delusions. You are not their victim. You are not their casualty. You are their consequence. And you will leave them behind the way a hurricane leaves behind broken trees and shattered windows, not out of cruelty, but because nature does not stop for those who are too weak to survive its awakening. And you are no longer a survivor. You are the storm itself.